Hi there, this is Donna Kozik. I'm the founder of MyBigBusinessCard.com and creator and leader of the original Write a Book in a Weekend program. And today I'm talking to you about pricing your book. This is a question I get a lot from my Done For You publishing clients, and I thought I would cover it so you know what to expect when it comes time to price your book. So just a moment about me. I am all about turning people into authors and getting them published. These are some of the graduates of my programs, most coming from my Write a Book in a Weekend program. And what I love about this photo is that everybody, first of all, is just smiling with pride. And secondly, that they all have written different books, even though they've used my templates and my guidance in getting their book done. So just love looking at that photo. So let's talk about turning people into authors real quick. And the programs that I do offer are Write a Book in a Weekend. It's my virtual event, no travel required. I also have a Done For You publishing program where I take your manuscript and turn it into a physical book or a Kindle book. I do private coaching for people who aren't really into maybe a group weekend program and rather would work one-on-one. And then I do group and private retreats here in San Diego. You can find out more at MyBigBusinessCard.com. When you go, you'll see a photo looks something like this. MyBigBusinessCard.com will show you more and give you more information. All right, so today's topic is about pricing your book, and it is a bit of a conundrum for a lot of new authors as they kind of vacillate between different ways to price their book, and I don't want you to stress out about it. So here are some of my thinking behind pricing your book. Some things to remember: first of all, your goals, and by that I mean it's not about you. What are your goals? What are your goals in publishing your book in the first place? Are you looking to use it as a big business card and to generate more leads for your business, more clients for your practice, more customers for what you do? So if those are some of your goals, it's not about selling more books, but instead it's about attracting more leads and more clients to your business. Other things you want to remember are your distribution channels. So how are you going to be selling your book? And most people look to Amazon. I think that's a good place to look for initial sales, but maybe you'll be selling it back of room. Maybe you'll be at events. So think about all these different distribution channels that you have for selling your book. Remember too that you can change the price of your book. So you can settle on something for the beginning and then come back and revisit that in 6 months or a year. And then also remember that ongoing promotion is key. A lot of new authors put all the focus on their book launch and then they forget about the long term. So remember, you've written the book and you might have done it in a sprint of a weekend, but the promotion of it is more of a marathon. So remember that you will be ongoing, you will be always be promoting your book. It's something that you have done. It's something that now will also always be in your backpack or in your toolkit that you can use as a marketing tool for yourself. At least that's what most of my clients do. Here are some things to forget. You're not going to make money on book sales, all right? And in fact, I would encourage you to get out of that mindset. I'm fine with you wanting to recoup your costs. That's cool. But don't turn yourself into a bookseller, because at most you'll be making $5, maybe $10 per sale of a book. And that is not a lot of money to be out there and hustling to try to get people to buy your book. Instead, again, this is the fact for most of my clients, the idea is to have that book to generate more sales on the back end, more new clients, more customers, more leads, and more audience members for themselves. So get out of your mind that you're going to turn yourself into a major bookseller and you're going to be making money on book sales. Instead, you want to focus on getting that book in front of as many people as possible, because every person who touches that book or downloads that book is a potential client or customer for you. Also, the things to forget are what other people are charging. This is kind of goes against what you're thinking. It's like, well, let me go see what my competitors are charging or other people who've written books on this subject are charging. But I really have never known anybody to make a decision about whether or not they're going to buy a book based on the price. It's like, well, I'll get this one because it's $2 less, even though this other one might have the information I'm looking for. So that is, thank goodness, not a consideration when readers are coming to look at your book. They're just looking at your book and they're looking to see if the value of your book is worth the price that you're charging. So that's the comparison that you're looking at. Sorry, my cat just walked in front of my microphone. So those are two things to forget. Put them out of your mind right now. Now, some things to consider when pricing your book. Number one is the length of your book. And I know that you've written a valuable book full of good information, and you might think that, and it is probably true, that the value of that information is worth so much more than $9.99 or $12.95 or what have you. But the fact is, as a society, we kind of look to see how long books are when we're considering whether or not to buy them with the price. So you'll want to consider that when pricing your book. How long is it? How many words are in it? Also, things to consider: your distribution avenues. I mentioned Amazon. There's also back of room. Your physical book, you could sell it for one price on Amazon and a different price when you're selling it back of room. And one reason why you might want to do this is you sell your book for $9.95, say on Amazon. Well, back of room, you might want to sell for $10. And so, or you might want to sell two for $15 so the person can buy a book and give one to a friend. So you have more flexibility when you're selling your physical book in the back of the room, and just kind of keep that in mind when you're pricing your book in general. You don't have to list the price of your book on the cover, by the way. It's more something that you just want to know, and Amazon wants to know when you're plugging in your information, or what you want to know when you're making your offer and when you're speaking at an event. Also remember for Kindle books that you can have free days when you do their Kindle Direct Publishing Program, KDP. I believe it's 5 days every quarter, and where you can encourage people to go and download your book for free. And that might be something to consider when you are pricing your Kindle book. First of all, nothing sells like free. This is what I have found. People just love a free book. So is it more valuable to download a book for free that's originally priced at $2.99, or one that's priced at $9.99 or $5.99? So the perceived value, again, can be more if the book is priced a little higher, but then is available for free. Not always, but it can be that way. Again, the mind, there's a lot of psychology in pricing and the way people think. So some of the parameters here when I advise my clients on pricing their book or Kindle books, for on Amazon, you want to be thinking about the percentage that you'll be getting from Amazon, and then also the psychology of pricing your book. And just the parameters that Amazon puts on as far as royalties that you get 70% of the selling price of your book if you price it between $2.99 and $9.99. And actually, they have found that $2.99 can mean more downloads than a book that is priced at 99 cents. And again, it's that perceived value and that psychology. But what you want to keep in mind is that you do get 70% of the royalties if you price it between $2.99 and $9.99 on Amazon. And if you price it outside of $2.99 to $9.99, you get 35%. So something to keep in mind. But again, you also want to keep in mind your goals. And if your goal is to really make it an easy decision for people to buy your book, and I always like having that as a goal, then 99 cents might be a good way to price it, where you're more interested in having more people buy it than the percentage of royalty that you get. In physical books, I used to say as a society that we topped out what we would pay for a physical book around $20. I changed that to $15. Now it's more around the lines of $10. And that's just because of ebooks being so accessible and cheaper than physical books. But there is always an audience that likes to have that physical book in hand, that you can sell your book on Amazon or back of room. And pricing here, I would also look to the length of your book. If it's about 100 pages, I would look to something around $10 or less, maybe $5.99, $10, at the high end, $12.95, something along those lines. If it's 200 pages or more, then you can bump that up to $12.95, maybe $14.95. I really wouldn't go much above $14.95, no matter how long your book is, because it actually becomes, and again, the psychology, it's almost a detriment if it's super long. If you have a 300 plus page book and you're charging a lot for it, people just look at that and they're like, wow, that looks like a lot of work and it's expensive. So short and powerful books, as I call them, books that are modest in content yet meaningful in message, I really think those are the way to go. And those are books between 100 and 200 pages. So physical books, again, the less that you can go and in your own mind be okay with pricing it so it is less expensive, the easier decision it is for somebody to put it in their cart. And that's also something to consider if your goal is to get more readers and not become a bookseller. And then audiobooks now on the market. And audiobooks, the way they are priced generally is by the time. So if your book is an hour or less, it's usually around $7. If it is 1 to 3 hours, it is $7 to $10. 3 to 5 hours, $10 to $20. 5 to 10 hours, $15 to $25. 10 to 20 hours, it will be $20, between $20 and $30. And if you have more than 30 hours in your audiobook, then you can charge between $25 and $35. Those are the recommended parameters for that. So my final thoughts on pricing your book is, again, to do something that you're comfortable with. That you can live with. I don't want you to have any negative connotations with what you price your book, like, Donna told me to do it this, but man, she told me to do $9.99, but I really think it's $12.95 or what have you. My goodness, price it for what makes you feel good. At the same time, remembering all those things I've talked about regarding goals and distribution channels and ongoing promotion. All right, this is not a one and done situation. Promoting your book doesn't end after launch day. It is something that you have, a resource that you have out there working for you 24/7. So you want to make sure that you keep giving it the attention it deserves. If you want to talk to me more about this, you can always get a big breakthrough session with me. And you can check those out at mybigbusinesscard.com, along with my Write a Book in a Weekend program and my Done For You publishing program. Until then, this is Donna Kozik. I'm the founder of mybigbusinesscard.com, creator and leader of the original Write a Book in a Weekend program, and then also the founder of the Done For You publishing company. Such a pleasure talking to you about pricing your book. Go out there, write your book, publish your book, price it right, and then get it out there and enjoy the benefits of being a published author. And I will see you in the bookstore.